And affordable housing is a challenge in this province and right across the country. For some, that means being stuck in housing they don't necessarily feel safe in. That's the case for two families in St. John's. They're tenants of Newfoundland and Labrador Housing. For more than a year, both have asked to be transferred because of concerns about criminal activity. But they say those requests keep getting denied. Here and Now's Ariana Kelland reports.
A moment of peace between mother and daughter. Jacinda McCormack says these moments outside her St. John's home are rare.
I've experienced threats, assaults, damage of my property, just verbal abuse, harassment. The list goes on. This doesn't even feel like our home anymore. We're stuck.
McCormack moved here in 2017, and the trouble began with a neighbor in 2021. She's been asking for a transfer to a different housing unit ever since, recording what was happening and sending it to the Newfoundland and Labrador Housing Corporation without success.
They told me that if things escalate and charges were laid, that they would be able to move me.
In May, her neighbor was charged with assault, mischief, and uttering threats, but...
And then I was denied again.
That's my door, my front door, right down. Just got home, it's all over my step. Used condoms, needles, other drug-related stuff.
This was last week outside Maurice Doyle and Ashley Conte's house on Livingstone Street. Just another day in the neighborhood, says Doyle.
One word, trouble. It's just bad, very bad down there. It's needles and it's just all the trouble around here. It's not fit for any kids to be being raised up down around here at all, right?
I can see the police coming down the road. Is that a common sight to see the RNC?
That's very common. That's very, very common, but it still don't fix the problems.
Numbers obtained by CBC News show police have been called to Livingstone Street 142 times the first 7 months of the year. Doyle and Conte spend more time searching for used needles in this park than playing with their son here. They say it's untenable.
My son's only 3. He's not going to know what the difference is between a needle. He's going to think that's a toy. He falls, pokes himself. What happens then?
Like McCormack, Doyle has been asking for a transfer, and like McCormack, he's been denied.
Criminal use and drug use is not an excuse to move somebody.
So what does it take to move someone? The Newfoundland and Labrador Housing Corporation says there has to be extenuating circumstances, like if a tenant is the victim of domestic violence, if they have a disability or are underhoused. They also take into consideration employment and education. Now, the current transfer list sits at around 200 people province-wide, with the majority of which here on the Avalon. And if you do happen to get a spot on that list, there's no telling when you'll get into a new place.
After CBC began asking questions about housing transfers when criminal charges are involved, McCormack got word. She's been added to the transfer list. For now, she says, they'll spend most of their time in here, waiting for the call. Ariana Kelland, CBC News, St. John's.